Hello YouTube, iFixItAll here, Team iFixItAll. I made a few changes. Whoops, hang on, let me show you. So I've made a few changes. I did a heat shield, right? I did a disbursement shield, which means I opened that up more. And another thing I did was to keep heat off of my porcelain socket. I made myself another heat shield that way. Alright, so this just slips on, slides in there, and attaches. Hang tight while I button it up. I'm one-handed. I know it may look a little bit hokey, but that's what I'm talking about right there. What I'm trying to do is make sure that the wiring doesn't get compromised. Get that squared away. Again, those are just spark plug boots right there. And scooch that up with a little bit of dirt. Okay. Just basically heat deflecting to protect this fragile plastic top. Let's see what our current draw is. I've got an amp clamp here, and I've got a hot leg split already. I wonder if we can do this one-handed. It's a lot easier if I just pause. Hang on. Okay, we're back. Remember, you can't amp clamp around your hot and your neutral at the same time because you'll get a null reading. So we're on AC amps scale. Boom. The sound of freedom. Here we go. So we turn on the lights. They're all on and happy. And going up and leveling out. It's about 6.3 or 2 amps. So compensating for the fact that I may not be exactly at a 120 volts. It might be 117, 119. But I also put in 200 watt bulbs. I think I'll combine this into two concepts here. So this is 800 watts. I can't remember the guy's name. He said, "Are you making a hotbed or a greenhouse?" And I'm like, well, I'm not really technically qualified to answer that. I was thinking that to myself. So yeah, it's pretty chilly out here right now. I've had this up for a while because I've been building the heat shields for the bulbs. This circle thingy, circle back Saki, and every bulb has that to keep the socket a wee bit cooler. I probably should have thought of this earlier when I was whining and complaining about sockets, but nonetheless, 'tis what it is. So there you go. We got about 6.5 amps. Take this off. Had a burp. Turn that off. All right, so I went out yesterday venturing around. Hello, puppy dog. Watch these for me. I went out venturing around yesterday, and I thought, well, I'll just get some 200 watt bulbs. All right, so I kind of forgot where I left off, but one of the things I wanted to point out is I was reluctant to use a GFCI inside this box because they're fickle. I may end up using a regular 2-position outlet switch and add a overcurrent protection device somewhere else. I want to be able to maintain this where if a hazard occurs. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is still at 6.3 amps. You can do the wattage on that, but it's 800 watts. I've got 4 200 watt bulbs. I kept my 150s. I can mix these up and go 200, 150, 200, 150. But another part of this was know your environment. So I took a trip to go find 200 watt bulbs because I wanted to be able to produce a little more heat to get past those chillier times, colder days, or colder nights. And my first stop was Dollar General store, and they had them right on the shelf, incandescent 200 watt light bulbs. And what I was really after was a halogen cone shaped bulb that fits in these containers like a floodlight, you know, the triangle shaped ones. You all know what I'm talking about. And I started to discover they don't have those available to me. But also I noticed at my next store I stopped at, they didn't have incandescent bulbs in a high wattage, and they had very few. I thought I was engineering around a universal application. By the way, while we're doing this video, if that GFCI trips, that's why I'm telling you I'm probably going to get rid of that duplex outlet. I want this thing to shut off if there's a real problem, not... Let me tell you what, it says it's rated for 20 amps. I'm at 6.4. It's pissing me off every time I turn around. There's little things that are supposed to be rated for this much electrical power capability. You know, you usually stay 80% of what your rating is to be in the margin of maximum safeness. Don't go beyond 80%. Anyway, know your environment. I'm probably going to change to a different style lamp assembly for when I build this whole thing as a permanent accessory for the raised garden bed. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so that's what I'm thinking about going with, is these typical really super hot light bulbs that went in the old school, we call them work lights, or we used to call them flood lamps. And then, because that's a 4-pack or a 5-pack for $9.99. However, interestingly enough, these are really, really, really common as well. More than incandescent light bulbs are today. And I thought incandescent light bulbs were making a comeback. And I did also find a heavy-duty socket. A 2-pack for $9.99. Right there. What do they call this? R7S socket. It just requires me to rewire that housing. So it's these sockets, 2 packs of those, and then these bulbs. And I don't think I want to, I might want to have 200s and 250s on hand, but for some, I don't know, watts is watts, but for some reason I think one of these and 200 watts is going to be a tad bit warmer than an incandescent bulb at 200 watts. So that's what I will be changing to. So we're back out here, and for some reason the GFCI did not trip, and I don't know why. It should have, because it tripped earlier when my video got cut, where I was back here doing something. So I guess I'll let her rip. Definitely getting rid of the GFCI, and I'm running this on an extension cord. I may build a box right there on the well house. Well, by the way, let me elaborate a little bit. I'm stealing one leg of power from a source. This is my well house. You lift a lid and it reveals my down about 2.5 foot down. There's my controller and my well pump head. But I'm tapped into one leg of a 240 volt circuit that goes over here. I wonder how much headroom I'm stealing from one side of my well pump by running these lights. It's bugging the shit out of me. Because I don't have a dedicated circuit, I don't think. I'm pretty damn sure I know for sure. Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure I know for sure. That's a 240 volt circuit that's buried out to here. Okay. That's it for this video, guys. Know your environment. I'm thinking I need to get away from incandescent bulbs and change to the halogen type. Getting cut up. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.